Hello, my name is Reina Valanco, and I am your host for this episode of the College and Career Readiness podcast. Today, we are joined by our special guest, Sergeant Vance Chandler of the Sacramento Police Department. Before we start our interview, remember to take control of your future. Join the California Army, National Guard, and serve your community during local and state emergencies. You'll learn marketable skills, earn a paycheck, and get money for school. Contact Sergeant Aquino today at 916-233-7615. Okay. Hi, Officer Vance.
Hello.
Could you tell me a little about your job? Like, what exactly do you do for the police department?
Sure. I work in the Public Information Office, and what our office does is we distribute information to the public, to the community, and we work with all our local media partners in making sure that our community is informed about what's going on in our city.
Okay, so what does an average day at work look like for you?
Wow, average day. Typically, there's no average day.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the things I really like about this career, and specifically this position. There is no average day. Every day is very different because our job is so dynamic and it's changing by the minute. And an average day could be waking up at 5 in the morning, get my workout in, seeing my kids, helping them get ready for school, and then heading in and go do our daily work, which consists of informing the community of what's going on in our city and taking calls from our local media partners, and also trying to push positive stories of the great things that our people are doing in our department on a daily basis. But it could change, a significant event, whether, it be a critical event in our city that all it takes is a phone call to change our daily routine. And when we get those critical incidents, we respond and we do our best to inform the community of what's going on, because we think it's important that our community knows what's going on in our city.
That's really cool. So it changes like day to day?
Day to day, it really does. Yesterday will be a lot different than today, and tomorrow will be a lot different than today as well.
That's cool. So what led you to pursue this career in particular?
Well, I was young, and I wanted to be a police officer because I always looked up to them. I think it's a very noble profession, and I've always admired the profession. So I, from a young age, I knew I wanted to be a police officer, and I set that as a goal. And then I did all I could do to try to achieve that goal. After high school, I went to college to continue my education. And then while I was still in college, I applied to the Sacramento Police Department, and I was fortunate enough to get accepted. And since I became a police officer, I'm so happy that I've chosen this profession. It's a very honorable profession to serve in, and I feel honored to be able to carry this badge every day and serve our community.
Okay, so you said this was something you wanted to do as a kid. Do you guys have any internship opportunities for students that have that same dream?
We do. We have a student trainee program where kids are able to go to college and go to school and then work for our police department. And that's a great opportunity because it allows young people to see the opportunities in our police department, get a feel of what our department has to offer, and also allows them to continue in their education while still being exposed to some of our department. And you have to be 21 years old to be a sworn police officer. So a lot of times, people graduate from high school and they're usually, 17, 18 years old. So during that gap, it allows kids and young people to still improve, continue in their education, because we really do value education. And still, while doing that, they're able to get some experience and see some of what our department has to offer. So student trainees, that's a good opportunity that our department offers. In addition to a student trainee position, throughout our city, we have several magnet programs, and those are programs that are in high schools in our community, and the students have the opportunity to be a part of police department's magnet program, and there they learn about our department and the skills that it takes to be a successful police officer in the Sacramento Police Department.
So if you didn't get in on any of those opportunities as a high schooler, are there any other ways to get into this career?
Well, there are countless ways. And
Oh, okay.
there's no single path that works for everyone. If you take a toll on all of our officers throughout our department, everybody has their own story and everybody has taken their own path. We have people who have been a part of those programs, who have been magnet officers and who have been student trainees. We have officers who have taken different paths, so officers who have gone to college or officers who've gone to the military or officers who thought first they wanted to pursue a different career and then they learned that, hey, you know what, this career isn't for me and I want to be a police officer. So throughout our department we have various paths that people have taken, and that's what's so unique about this profession is we have so many great people that come from so many different backgrounds, and all of that we're able to provide a lot for our community as far as different experiences.
Okay, so about your own path, what obstacles have you faced throughout your journey?
Well, obstacles. I came from a broken family, and I didn't have a lot of support in my home, so that was an obstacle early on. However, I got a lot of help, and I had a good mentor who lived across the street from me, and he kind of took me under his wings, and he was at the time a detective for the Los Angeles Police Department, and I talked to him and I looked up to him and really told him about what I wanted to do and how much I wanted to be a police officer. And I was very fortunate. He, like I said, he took me under his wings and helped me out. I mean, I remember when I had my entry-level interview to be a police officer, he went and bought me a suit because I didn't have a suit. So, he was very, very instrumental in me becoming a police officer. And kind of the cool story about that is when I got promoted just about 2 years ago, I picked him to pin my new sergeant badge because, I knew how much that would mean to him because it meant so much to me, the help that he gave me. So that was a big obstacle early on in my life of becoming a police officer. Let's see, another obstacle was just not knowing about the actual profession. And, we have a lot of people who have family in the profession. I didn't have any family in the profession. So, the obstacle for me was trying to educate myself on what the position actually is. And I was fortunate to, not only meet my mentor who helped me, but meet other members of the police department. And when I started meeting members of the police department, that's when I really learned that, wow, the department is filled with a lot of great people. And so I don't want that to discourage anybody. I think it's important for everybody to know that, you don't need a connection in the police department. You meet the people that are in our department, and you will quickly learn that our department has a lot of great people that want to serve our community, and their heart's in the right place of, doing the right thing for everyone.
That's cool. So now that you have more knowledge about your career and the department in general, what's some advice that you would give as a mentor yourself?
For high school students, the best advice that I would give is stay on track. And what I mean by that is set your goal right now and set your path for that goal. And in high school, it's easy to be influenced by others. It's a time in your life when others can have a big influence on you, and it's easy to get sidetracked and get off that path. But I think it's the message that I would send is set that goal and do all you can to stay on that path, and pick friends that will help guide you on that path, and also pick mentors and people that you can look up to that will also help keep you on that path. There's a lot of outside influences, and do your best to stay away from them. And at the same time, I realize that kids are young and they make bad decisions, but make good, wise decisions, because this is one of those careers that at a young age, it's important to make those good decisions because your background and everything that you do leading up to this career is really critical. So staying on that path of becoming a police officer is what I encourage high school students, so that when that time comes, they're ready to be a police officer, because we really want people who are trustworthy, so and also people who have great integrity, and part of that is staying on that path of living a life of being somebody who's trustworthy and somebody who has integrity.
Okay, integrity, trustworthiness, those are core values. What other core values do you have that motivate you to do this type of work?
Well, integrity and trustworthy, those are very important. But I think one other thing that's really important with this profession is a passion for others. And something that we do on a daily basis is we help people during their most difficult times. And we don't see people at their greatest times. So it's important for police officers to have passion and treat everybody with that same passion that they would treat a family member, a loved one, or their best friend. And when people are in a crisis, that passion should be showed. You should show that passion because that's what's going to help get someone through that difficult time. And their encounters with law enforcement aren't always positive encounters, but by showing that passion that you care and you want to help them out, that's one thing that we can do to try to help people during their crisis. And that's why I think passion is a core value as a police officer.
Okay. Thank you, Sergeant Vance Chandler, for talking with us today. And we're done.
Thank you for the opportunity.